Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Pixel Primos Gaming News Show, the show where we talk all things video games, from Lara Croft's nude code to Souls likes having an easy mode. Hey, I'm Juan Solo.
Nice.
And I'm Paco.
And I'm the cream of the crop. I'm JJ. What's up?
What up?
All right, yeah, we're bear with us. We're trying something new. We want to make a separate show for all the gaming stuff, so we don't bloat the regular Alpha Primos podcast. Don't worry, that one's not going anywhere.
You guys are all still top G's.
Yeah.
Yes.
The thing
But
is,
if you listen to this one and the other podcasts, then you're top G squared.
right? Expect
they're G1s. Can we take that one?
I think so. I don't think
it's defunct, right? So we can use that one.
The thing is, we wanted to. We kept trying to add more ass eating to the other podcast, but the video games kept bogging it down. So we decided to
have to
separate them. To that way, now we can discuss the merits of ass eating more.
Yeah. Well, yes. I want to send Sam more ass eating memes just to piss him off. There you go. Just every morning he wakes up and looks at his phone. He's like, "Fucking Paco."
Oh, dude, my T-shirt finally came in.
Ah, yes, yes.
It's over there somewhere. But like, I was getting worried because I didn't get a confirmation email or nothing. I was like, "Oh man, I got fucked." Like they stole $30 from me because I ordered 2 shirts.
That's my $30. Yep. What can I say?
All right. Let's get to the topic at hand. JJ sent us a trailer for an upcoming game, and the funny thing is, he sent that to us a day after we recorded Alpha Primos episode 3, and he's like, "Guys, we gotta talk about this because we just finished talking about realistic video games, and now this one's on like the opposite end of the spectrum."
Right.
Well, it's just a more, what do you call it? It's just a more violent Cuphead.
That's a good way to describe it. It's kind of like if Cuphead and BioShock and like Conker's Bad Fur Day went to the same bar and just had like this wild threesome and all of them got pregnant.
Actually, no. You take all those 3 and they ran a train on Steamboat Mickey. And this is what you take all of those 3, they're all at the bar, and they decided to run a train on Steamboat Mickey for some reason. And this is what was birthed. But the icing on the cake is somehow Call of Duty showed up and just busted a nut. Just jerked off in there somewhere. And that's where you get that. Because it's the first person shooter vibes.
Yeah.
It's like someone tried to play Bendy and the Ink Machine and couldn't because it was too scary. So then they made it into a first-person shooter.
That's really good. I like that.
It's like someone read the graphic novel Mouse and was like, "What if we gave them guns?
What if we gave them Tommy guns? What if we animated
Nazis?"
Like, hear me out, guys. What if we animated the Untouchables and then made them into animals instead of humans? Be like, you got a great idea. Sold. You get a raise. Yep. I mean, even for what it is, for what we've seen in the trailer, the official trailer. I mean, it looks cool, and it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Once they add in all the details and stuff like that, it looks like it's going to be a fun time had by all. Like that's, and I'm hoping they'll have something similar to Cuphead where they have the co-op. That'd be really cool too. They have some co-op there.
Yeah, let's fill in people who are still confused at this point. We're talking about the game's called Mouse.
Yeah,
and it's still in development. Not much is known about it. since this was quite literally announced 2 days ago as of when we're recording. There's a Steam page up along with the teaser trailer, but yes, it's basically a 50s style noir first person shooter.
Yeah,
Do they still have Tommy guns in the 50s?
Yes.
Okay, I don't remember. I always
Yeah,
thought it was. I thought it was like an older, like maybe 1920s, 1930s,
it
because
is
that's
a
the gangster look that they're doing.
no,
yeah,
And
yeah,
that's what,
actually,
yeah. It is a 30s like weapon.
it's a
I
so
mean,
it's
they
they were
pretty
they
warm.
have way
probably
but
still around in the
because
50s, but
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
50s
but
it was
they
greasers, so they used
uh-huh.
yeah.
knives.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I thought it was like 20s or 30s just because of the Tommy guns, and they've got the damn it. What's that? I just said the name of the gangsters too. The those fucking like bootlegger gangsters or whatever. Damn it,
Yeah,
I forget.
the Prohibition
Mhm.
era gangsters.
Prohibition era. That this is the
Yeah,
style. That's why I was like, oh okay,
Yeah.
so this seems
they
pretty
look
cool.
like the weasels
All right.
from fucking Roger Rabbit.
Ah yes, the Weasel
Yeah.
from Rabbit.
Yeah.
All right.
God, that was a
Well,
terrifying movie.
all right. Well, if the sidebar on Wikipedia is to be believed, the United States military used them until 1971, but they were still producing the gun until I think, like the 1945. Yeah, that's when they stopped. So
Mm,
right at the
okay.
end of World War II. So it, you might have still seen some in the 50s, but they weren't
Hmm.
making them anymore. Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I feel like that would be terrifying to a gangster as well. Like you're just, trying to rob some people. You're going to shoot up the cops, and then you think, oh man, I'm going to one up the cops, and the cop pulls out a fucking Tommy gun. It's like, wait a minute. He's just like, he's like, they ran out of ARs. It's all they had left. It's like, yeah, it's just a little more intimidating. Like that's just like, is that what I think it is? Fucking drum mag coming out.
But anyway, uh, subject of firearm history aside, yes, the big reason we wanted to talk about this one was yes, to just parallel the realism of unrecord that we talked about last time, the body cam
Body cam
game, and
footage.
now we got this cartoon looking game. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm a bigger fan of style over realism when it comes to video games. I have no problem making a game look as realistic as possible and whatnot. But if you give me the choice between a really realistic game or one that just has a stylized look, I'm gonna go with the stylized one. And I just think it looks better. And I think a good example I saw online was that someone took different screenshots of four different first person shooters and then asked the audience, can you individually tell which game is this one and this one? And yeah, you can't because they all look the same.
Yeah.
Whereas if I were to get a screenshot of Borderlands, which is also a first person shooter, you can tell that that's Borderlands. Likewise,
Talking.
if someone takes a screenshot of this one, they're going to be able to tell that it's Mouse. And that's why I prefer the style over the realism. It it looks better, and on top of that, it's great for marketing. People can tell what the game is by just looking at a photo of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also, I think, because I agree with you. I will prefer a game that does its own like unique art style over just going for the realistic look. I think a lot of the times those games that go with the unique art style age better. Like
Mhm.
Wind Waker still looks good. Like even
Yeah.
in the original GameCube version, still looks good.
Hmm.
Um, and the other thing is that like no one's taken down Fortnite.
No, no, they haven't.
like
No, they have not.
we've lived through the era of battle royales being the number one thing, and everyone was trying to make the Fortnite killer, for lack of a better term. But everyone basically tried to make PUBG again. Like Radical Heights just looked like PUBG again. Uh, there's there was a plethora of them. There was that one that was going to
The
charge you like
culling.
yeah, the culling, that one. That
Mhm.
was another one that were like, it doesn't look unique enough. It's not doing anything different. Whereas
Mhm.
Fortnite is like, if you take a, like you said, if you take a picture of Fortnite immediately, even if it's got Goku on it, like I'll be able to tell that that's a Fortnite screenshot.
Mhm.
But if yeah, if you put like a screenshot of PUBG or the culling or well, I guess Radical Heights kind of did some things differently, but like not enough. It was still
Mhm.
mostly realistic looking. I
Yeah.
Yeah,
wouldn't be able to tell those apart.
yeah. I agree. I am more when it comes to if we're talking strictly about the looks. I'm always going to choose the certain stylistic ones over like the realism. Don't get me wrong, the realism's cool, but sometimes the stylistic, the over the top of the flames or the line drawings or even the weapons, just to me is just way cooler. That I think that's the reason Borderlands is still popular. I think, in my opinion, that's why I think Borderlands is still one that you can play it, and I just like the look of everything. To me, it looks fucking badass. It looks cool. Um, I want to ask you, so stylism aside, what's something else you look for in a game that's gonna make you choose that over something else? One for me is gameplay, like
Mhm.
gameplay and mechanics. Like I if I mean I know there's games out there that they look like really fun, but then they just get the gameplay or the mechanics is just so ridiculous, or it's like I'm done. I can't do this. I don't want to have to like hit this button and go through like six menus just so I can get to like one weapon or one sword or one spell or whatever the fuck it is. Because then at that point, I was like, I'm done. I don't even want to play this anymore. It's just too laborious for me.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not fun anymore. I think that's another big one for me. It has to be gameplay and mechanics. Would have to be a second when it comes to choosing a game.
Yeah,
Mhm.
gameplay I think is king. Like
Yeah.
if you can't get gameplay right, but just start over.
That's
Mhm.
why
um,
that's another reason. Was it GTA's lasted so long?
yeah, the
Mhm.
GTA just
gameplay is
because
solid.
there's so much to do.
Mhm. Yeah, they're fun to play, and I think that's like a lot of the big selling point with a lot of Nintendo games. You think about it. You have stuff like Red Dead Redemption 2. It's like, oh, play it because it's got such a great story, and it looks so cool. And then it's like you had Halo Infinite also coming out around the same time. It's like, oh, play Halo Infinite because you can play with your friends, you can form clans, and you name it. And then meanwhile, here's Nintendo with Super Mario Odyssey, and they're just play it because it's fun.
You received it. To be
I went to
honest,
Target to pick it up because I wanted that fucking hip pouch.
oh, dude,
Yeah,
that's
it's
cool.
so cool.
I
It
will
sucks we
say
don't got
one
a
thing.
Target here.
Yeah, I will say one thing. Whenever they talk about like who's the king of like the consoles, it's not Xbox or PlayStation. It's Nintendo. Nintendo's like that, the silent king. Nobody really talks about it, but Nintendo doesn't have to say anything. Nintendo has been around since what, the 18 fucking hundreds.
Yeah,
Nintendo Nintendo's been around since the
technically
18 fucking
yes.
hundreds.
Yeah.
Technically, yes, they've been around since the 1800s. They started off with the card games, and now they were the first console, and they're they've taken Mario, and he's evolved pretty much every like era of gaming, and he's still fun. It's something that I will still play, and I will like, you know what? I'm gonna play some fucking Mario because the game itself is fun. They've changed up mechanics. They've added all these things, and they haven't just added them arbitrarily or just like, we'll just throw this in there because that's what everybody else is doing. But they add their own thing to it, and it makes it a lot of fucking fun.
Yeah,
Like
Nintendo.
Galaxy's a lot. I got to play Galaxy at a friend's house, and I was like, dude, this game's fucking fun. Like, I didn't think it. Like, I tell you, one of my favorite ones is which is the one with the. I still think it's one of the best ones next to 64, Mario 64, is the one with the water jetpack.
Oh,
Sunshine.
Sunshine.
Sunshine. That's still such a fun game, and it looks so fucking cool. The stylized of it looks so fucking cool. Like, I'm like, I want to live in that world. That world looks awesome. It looks clean and fun and wholesome, and everybody can play the Mario games. Even hardcore gamers know. Even though they'll say like, "Oh, whatever, it's for bitches, it's for babies." Suck a dick, bro. Like, that shit is still fun.
Yeah, I know for PC gamers, the big one is like Half-Life, and that's partly
Mhm.
because Valve has always been like, when we do a Half-Life, it means that we're taking a leap forward into like something
Mm-hmm.
different, right? Like Half-Life 1 came out and we kind of radicalized the way first-person shooters worked. And then Half-Life 2 came out and we did it again. Like we introduced this new mechanic. I think they introduced like the physics gun or whatever, the gravity gun.
Yeah, the physics gun is cool. I was
And
afraid to play Half-Life.
yeah.
I was
Well,
scared
that's why they
because
haven't released a 3, because they haven't found that next leap forward.
uh-huh.
But Nintendo does the same thing with Mario. It's just that no one really talks about it.
Yeah,
Like
no, nobody really talks about it. Everybody plays it though.
every Mario game kind of is the next leap forward in
Mhm.
mascot platformers. They're out of vogue right now, but like, yeah, like the jump from Mario 1 to Mario 3, and that was still in the same console. Like that
Mm-hmm.
wasn't it, and it's completely different. Then
Mhm.
from Mario 3 to Mario World, it's not as big of a leap, maybe, but there's still a transition there where it's like, oh fuck. Like Juan, you like to bring it up that like Yoshi was still there when you left the screen. Like that was the huge leap forward in technology where it's like Yoshi's still there. Like I left the screen and I came back and Yoshi was waiting for me. Whereas in the,
Mm, yeah.
in the Nintendo, in the NES days, like if you left the screen, either you couldn't go back to that screen or it reset. So like everything that was there before you left is gone.
Yeah, I always said that for every console generation, whenever I jump to the next one, there's always like an oh shit moment for
Yeah.
me for every generation. I remember for yeah, from jumping from the original Nintendo to the Super Nintendo, the oh shit moment for me was when you come back and the Yoshi's still there. It doesn't refresh, it doesn't erase them. Likewise, jumping there from the 64, it's like, oh my god, it's in 3D. And then it just goes on from there. And then the other one was when jumping from like the PS2 to PS3, the oh shit moment for me was in Uncharted when you would jump in the water and you would come out, his clothes would stay wet. That blew my fucking mind.
Or you
Yeah.
see the footprints from his wet boots and stuff in like certain
Yeah.
games. Like,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you why I was afraid to play Half-Life or Half-Life 2. I thought it was a horror game for the longest.
Oh.
I'm not a big horror person.
Yeah.
I remember when when Blockbuster was still around, because that's how old I fucking am. Because Blockbuster was still around, and you could, I went in, I rented Silent Hill. I had no idea what I was renting. I played that bitch at 11:30 at night alone in my living room. I turned that shit off because I remember the first scene. You just have a torch and you're walking
Yeah.
through an alley, and these fucking monsters come out of nowhere. Ah! I screamed and everything in my fucking house. My parents, what the hell's going on? Oh, nothing, just the game. And then like for the longest, because everybody was like, "Dude, you should play Half Life 2, blah blah." And I was like, "Yeah, I'll play it." And I was like, "I'm not playing the game. That's a fucking horror game." Even though I'd already been out and I was, I didn't have, I was still catching up on gaming and stuff. And I finally, one of the guys I used to work with was like, "Hey man, I'm gonna let you borrow it. You need to play it." I was like, "Fine, I'll fucking play it. I'm gonna have all the lights on and like 3 crucifixes and a couple of, Virgen de Guadalupe candles next to me just in case." And I played it, and dude, I played it the whole night until I finished it. It was so much fun. It was such a great fucking game. And then I started, looking up like, oh, I wonder if there's going to be a Half-Life 3. And I was like, I understand your anger. I understand why you guys are mad because this shit isn't finished. I'd be fucking angry too. I'd
Valve
be angry
can't
too.
count to 3.
Fucking
They
Valve.
can't. Well, I guess maybe Counter Strike, but does that really count? They never numbered those.
No, doesn't count. They just give me different names. No, yeah, I really like that.
Right. Is there
The other
anything
thing
else
with
you guys want to say
realistic,
about Mouse? Oh, okay.
the
Oh,
other
go for
thing
it.
with realistic graphics is that like they're always gonna get better. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's never going to like. I remember when fucking uh WWF No Mercy came out for the Nintendo 64. I was like, son of a bitch, man! Like we did it. We created life. Like there's no shit ain't gonna get better than this. And now I look at like old gameplay footage of that, and I'm like, who drew the Rock poorly on that like thwomp? Like it looks so bad. But back then, I didn't have like the Unreal 5 benchmark, where it's like,
It was
like,
peak gaming to us back then.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
The peak graphics.
But yeah, now I look at it now and it's like, oh man, like this is really rough. And I thought it
I
Yeah.
was great. That I remember like thinking like, man, they really captured the cat's hotness in these 64 polygons. Her boobs look amazing, and they were just like triangles.
triangular boob. Like, why are you so attracted to yield signs? You'd have to be there. Yeah, you had to be there.
You
It,
don't understand.
it, yeah. The whole realism with you at the WWF No Mercy. One for me that I remember was a Heavy Rain on the PlayStation 3. And a big selling point for that one was how realistic it looked because they were going for like that movie appeal and feel. It really is like you get to choose your own adventure movie, if you will. It's an interactive movie. And so that was a big selling point. And so in all the marketing and even in the game, there's a lot of scenes that are just deliberately there to show off like the technology and how cool it looked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then
You
they remastered it for the PS4, and I played it again on the PS4. And well, yeah, it's dated now. It doesn't look real anymore. And so now all those scenes that were just there to show off the technology, now they just look weird and out of place.
Yeah, I get that.
yeah.
Like it like I mentioned this movie but in the previous podcast, but yeah, it's the Final Fantasy The Spirits Within. Like
Mm-hmm.
back then that shit looked real. That was the unrecord of movies where it's like holy crap,
Mm-hmm.
like it, they did it. Like the are we even gonna when those weird like mocap movies that Disney made, like Mars Needs Mom, were
Yeah.
coming out, people were like, "Are we gonna need like actors anymore? Like on camera actors? Because like with the technology, we can just animate them with mocap. So we just need the voice now, and someone else can do the performance." People were making those kind of arguments back when The Spirits Within was coming out, and if you look at The Spirits Within now, it kind of holds up, but it's not great. You can see the jank in a lot of it. Um, so yeah, it's kind of I'm not gonna fault anyone who wants to chase that like realism uh dragon to for their game. It's a noble goal, but the technology is gonna keep improving, and so like you might never make it is the thing. It's the one where
Mm-hmm.
it's like it's Star Citizen, man. Like, is that game ever coming out? Like, because
Yeah.
I just saw a video about it like a few minutes ago, right before we started recording, And I had forgotten that when they announced the solo campaign for Star Citizen, that was 10 years ago. That was 2013. So so
Hmm.
when they showed like they show footage of like Gary Oldman like delivering the speech for the cutscene, and it's like in 2013 that was peak graphics, peak performance. Like this is the most realistic fake Gary Oldman I've ever seen. But then the genius thing that the video that I saw did was that like yeah, that was 2013. Here's a clip of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It looks better. Like Assassin's Creed Valhalla looks better. And so like I mean yeah, if you want if you feel the realism style like a game like Call of Duty has to look real cuz that's sort
Yeah,
of the thing that they're going to do,
they're going
right?
for.
Like yeah, but if you
Whereas
can
Mouse
make your
is
game
pure fantasy.
right, yeah. If your game is pure fantasy, you don't have to make the character look like a real human. You can,
Like yeah, it if it fits the narrative to go realistic, then yeah, go realistic. Because I would argue that yeah, like Uncharted has to have a
yeah,
realistic look and feel. I can't really picture Uncharted with a stylized look because the whole premise of it is it's an Indiana Jones movie that you can play.
Very true. I like where you're
yeah,
going with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I will say so. When Mouse comes out, I'm definitely gonna pick it up. Hopefully,
yeah.
it lives up to the hype. Because
Oh yeah,
even
Yeah.
with what little we've seen from this 1 minute trailer,
yeah.
I think it's gonna live up to the hype. They keep going in the direction they're going.
I hope so. I hope because I have to be cautious now because there's been
Yeah,
too many games that I've been like, man, that looks awesome. Biomutant, that game's gonna be the shit, and
Yeah. And
and then it comes out and it's like, I mean, it's all right. Like,
mhm.
it's not. It was just meh. It wasn't great. Like, it needed more time to cook. They needed to really hone in on. It goes back to like gameplay is king. They didn't really have a focused gameplay loop, and it shows because it's like kind of scattershot. Um,
Mhm.
and it's the same with oh god, I had another one. I forgot.
Redfall.
Redfall, yeah,
Oh,
Redfall is another
Redfall.
one.
Yeah, Redfall's
Yeah,
another
yeah,
one.
where it's like, oh man, like you you guys kind of had something. Um,
He had a good idea.
oh, the crime boss game, the one with all the celebrities, the one with Chuck
Oh
Norris,
yeah. Uh-huh.
Rocky City or whatever. Um,
Yeah.
they have interesting ideas because it's actually a roguelike. Like if Michael
Hmm.
Madsen dies, you start over,
Yeah.
which it's neat. Like no one's done a first person shooter roguelike. Problem is that the game's not great. So it's a great idea if they had more time and maybe if they didn't have to hire like Danny Glover, Michael Madsen, Chuck Norris, and who's the lady?
Uh,
Well,
I
but
don't
if
remember.
they didn't spend so much, Vanilla Ice is also in the
Yeah,
game for some reason.
is he building
But
houses? He's a construction worker now. He owns
but
his
like
own
if
company.
if they didn't spend so much money on the celebrity cameos or celebrity cast and just put more time into development and really refine their ideas, it probably would have been better. The game would have been better for it, but that's not the route they decided to go.
No, yeah, yeah, that is pretty good.
Did
But
you
yeah.
guys hear about the GTA 6 rumors?
I
Always
heard the
talking about
rumors.
rumors.
Huh?
I mean, there's always rumors about that one. What they say this time?
They were saying that there was going to be an announcement soon. Like it was all over Reddit that there was a letter leaked and someone like posted the letter. But no, it's fake. It was debunked. Like, it was a Chat
Yeah,
GPT letter.
yeah. I'm like, guys, like Grand Theft Auto 6 rumors trend on Twitter like every other fucking week to the point that it's like, why do you guys keep
When it's
falling for
not
this?
Grand Theft Auto 6,
Yeah,
it's Metal Gear
it
Solid remake. Like they
yeah,
alternate, they
or
tag
the
out.
Switch Pro, the Switch
Yeah.
Pro is also another one. But the Grand Theft Auto one, that like the rumors that like always like I'm like, are you all 14? Because that's the only reason I can see like someone falling for it is that they always hype up that like, no guys, they're gonna show it at E3, they're gonna show it at Summer Game Fest, they're gonna show it at you name it. It's like, guys,
No.
Dreamcast 2, baby.
Rockstar has since Grand Theft Auto 3 never gone to a press conference like ever, and it's because they had a bad experience, so they never wanted to do that again. And so that's why like I hate when these things pop up and it spreads like wildfire that like, no guys, they're gonna show it at E3, they're gonna, and it's like, no they're not, no they're not, like it should be established by now that they never do conferences. And so and so that's why the only way you could defend that is like, were you born like a decade ago?
I'm telling you, man. I heard it on Reddit that they're gonna announce Grand Theft Auto 6 with a release date in Summer Games Fest, and it's going to be exclusive to the Dreamcast 2. Like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
got my
They
pre-order
cut it.
in already
Mm.
for the
They cut a
Dreamcast
deal
2.
with Sega.
Yeah.
Sega's back, baby.
Sega's gonna make a comeback. You just watch. You just watch.
I
Sega's
mean,
gonna make a comeback.
they kind of are. I mean, Sonic the Hedgehog the movie is a big success. Yakuza is doing great numbers, and that's a franchise that they didn't think would kick off that well here in the United States.
Yeah.
And Sonic Frontiers, I think, is arguably like a step in the right direction. So I think it's fair to say that no, yeah, like Sega's Sega's doing good.
Well, as soon as Sega comes out with an updated version of Vector Man, then that's as soon as Vector Man comes out, I'm telling you that's gonna bring everything down. It's Vector Man is it. I still remember that game. The game's so
I
cool.
remember that game too.
And I was like, yeah, this thing's fucking awesome.
I miss some of those old Genesis games. Like I always remember Comic Zone.
Yeah.
Like Comic Zone looks so badass. Another game that was more like stylized over realism, but it just looks so
Mhm.
cool. And then I played it and I was like, "This, how is a mouse
It's
kicking my ass?"
it's fucking hard. Yeah, like that's the thing I remember about Comic Zone. Like it looks cool and it's awesome, but holy fuck, it's so difficult.
Yeah.
You know what they need to do, like they used to do back then, but they need to do now to really drive sales for your consoles. Do you remember the difference between the Super Mario version of a game and the Genesis version of a game? Like so, they would always have the same exact game for both consoles, but they were
Yeah.
just a little different.
Yeah.
One of the best examples, Aladdin.
Yeah.
Aladdin for the Genesis was superior. I'm sorry, superior. I'm sorry, Nintendo. I love you, but that game on Sega Genesis was superior. It looked better. It played better. It was cooler. Had better levels than the one on fucking Super Nintendo. Another one, Lion King. The Lion King game was another one, and then it was what the Star Wars. Wait, I don't remember. I don't think Genesis had Star Wars games.
Not
I don't
really.
remember.
I don't remember one
Yeah, I
on
don't think they had
Genesis.
I
Star
don't
Wars.
remember it. Yeah.
I don't think so. But
The
wasn't
turtles.
Battletoads on both consoles as well?
What I think
Hmm.
Or was it
the
just
Double
Super Nintendo?
Dragon one.
I think that
Double
yeah, with the
Dragon and
crossover
Double
with
Dragon,
Double
Battletoads.
yeah.
Dragon was on both, but I think the
Okay.
rest were Nintendo.
They need to do that now. They need to release the same game for both consoles, but one of them is just different. I have an Xbox right now, but given the chance, I would cross back over to PlayStation. Just so I can get my hands on Spider-Man and God of War.
Well, they kind of. I don't know if people would go for it now. Like,
Probably
Mm,
not.
I
Because
don't think they
then
would.
they would do it, and then what they would do to fucking make it worse, or just so they could get more money, they'd make it a DLC for whatever other console. They'd be
Yeah,
like, "Oh,
mm,
cool! You want to play the same thing that's on the PlayStation? Well, we're going to release a DLC for the Xbox version."
because
That's just going to
Avengers.
happen. For a while, it's going to be all these cool differences. Oh man, PlayStation's better than Xbox. Xbox is better than PlayStation. Our levels are cooler. We get this more exclusive stuff. And then it's like, nah, we're just going to release the same thing for both consoles. It's
Yeah,
fun out of
because
it.
Avengers kinda sorta did that since Sony owns
Spider
Spider-Man.
Man
Uh huh.
You could only play as Spider-Man in the
in
PlayStation
the
version of
PlayStation.
Avengers.
Uh,
So like he was console exclusive, and I remember a lot of people were upset about that, and I understand why. Like
yeah.
Hmm
if you only have a Xbox
It's
and
because
you and Spider-Man's your guy and you wanted to play the Avengers as Spider-Man, well now you're screwed. But
Well,
also
let's
I'm
be
like,
honest. If
where the hell
Spider
have you
Man was
been,
really
bro?
your
Like,
guy,
did you not know that Sony owns Spider-Man?
well,
yeah.
let's be honest. If Spider Man was really your guy, you wouldn't have gotten an Xbox in the first place. You
Yeah,
would have known that, like, you know what, man, he's never going to be on Xbox. I got to give me the PlayStation. I just know it.
hmm
But that means you guys aren't true Spider Man fans.
hmm
You guys don't really like Spider Man.
Look,
You
I'm not
knew
gonna
Yeah.
he had
blame a 5-year-old whose mom doesn't know the difference between a PlayStation and an Xbox.
fucking
hmm
helicopter parenting, man. Helicopter parenting.
Yeah. My mom's gonna call it a Nintendo anyway.
Anyway,
Right.
yeah,
uh,
I can't believe that still holds true. That's so another reason that Nintendo is king. It is still like, oh, you playing the Nintendo, mom? The fucking Xbox 7000. Please stop playing. This is like 40 years into the future, as you're wearing
uh,
your Ready Player One gear, and in the virtual world, Mijo, turn off your Nintendo, mom. This is the Oculus 1800 plus with pulsating crotch area. Like I don't know. This isn't a Nintendo. But then somehow Nintendo's going to take over that space as well. But if that was real, like let's say Ready Player One was real, right? And you could
Mm.
go through all these different portals. I'm telling you, man, I'd probably always choose the Mario, like the Nintendo portal, because it just looks fun. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you can go into the Mario world, like sold. Fuck going to the Call of Duty world. I want to get shot in the head 18 times. Fuck that. Do I want to go to Halo and get sucked off by the flood? Absolutely not. I'm going to the Mario world where I can ride Yoshi and I can use the little water back jetpack, and I can also use Luigi's vacuum to suck up ghosts at the same time. Because that's going to be more fun than. I'm sure there's going to be a Fortnite area too. That's going to be fun. Because I feel like Fortnite is the precursor to Ready Player One.
It's just bringing in everything.
Just bringing in everything. That's the precursor.
The rumor
You know, that's
is
what they
that
should do
that One
next.
Piece is coming in.
Oh, no way.
That's the rumor. That's the rumor.
It'll happen. It'll happen.
When it does, I will not have any money.
Yeah.
I am buying everything.
You know what, man? That video I sent you of the One Piece gym. That needs to be a reality. Be at the gym every day, no excuses. No excuses. Be like, where you at, man? I'm at my One Piece gym, man. You know what Fortnite needs to do? They need to recreate the scene of Ready Player One when they all battle, in that snowy place right before they get into the castle, and everybody just goes after the battle. That needs to be recreated. No building, no nothing. It's just an empty field, and they just go do battle. That's what needs to happen in the next Fortnite, like update or whatever. Even if it's just
that
like a
might be
special
like
event.
it could be like the season finale. They usually do something pretty big for their
Yeah, exactly.
finales.
There you
So.
go. It could be the season finale. Like everybody logs in, and it's just like it's just an empty field. What the hell? And then half the people get on one side, they're half on the other side, and you just run to the middle and you don't get weapons until like maybe it should just all be hands. Just start throwing hands first. And then once somebody dies, that's when they start dropping weapons. And that's when you're like, ah, that would be cool. That's another thing. I'll tell you another thing. what pisses me off about some of these triple A games like Call of Duty, when they announce things like, oh, like especially on in Warzone in the Battle Royale, they'll always announce something like, oh, we're gonna do a zombie mode for, and the way they show the video, the way they show the trailer, or the way they explain it, what when they first announced it, I legit thought that you were going to log in, that everybody was going to log in, right? You log in, you get into the server, and it wasn't going to be you versus everybody else. It was everybody's going to be on the same team, right? And then the zombies are just going to come, and you have to make it to the boat, which is on the other side of the fucking map. So it's just going to be waves upon waves. Like that's what it meant. That's what it looked like, and that's what it made it sound like. You have no idea how excited I was. Like, that's going to be a badass fucking mode. I'm going to be playing that. I'm going to take a day off just so I can play that mode all day and level up or see all the cool shit. What was it? No. They end up putting like this computer in a certain part of the map, and you had to go turn it on, and then like 20 zombies would come out. I was like, you motherfuckers. Fuck all of y'all. Like, this is some bullshit. Like, I don't even want to. I was so mad. I literally did not play that day because I was so mad after I saw what it was. And then it sucks you can't even kill all the zombies because you're trying to kill all the zombies, and then some asshole comes up behind you and does a finishing move on you and take whatever prize it is. Because literally, they will sit there and watch you. Like, they will just sit there and watch you kill all the zombies, and you kill the last zombie, and they drop the special key for whatever loot box you can go grab, and somebody just comes up and's already been sitting there aiming and ready to snipe your ass. I'm like, man, I fucking hate people. I hate
I do that to people on Fortnite right now. Like, I do that to a bunch of 5-year-olds in Fortnite. Like, oh, he's already whittled the boss down to like half health. I'll kill him now.
With as much shit as I playing Warzone, with as much shit as I talk, and then I hear like some little kid's voice, I'm like, ooh, maybe I need to calm down on the curse words. He's like a little 5-year-old, just like, hey guys, fuck. And, they're trying to make a kill. Like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Fucking fire! God damn it! How old are you? I'm 7. Oh. Still, you should be better at this than I am. You don't have a job. I have a job. I'm just casual.
It's like that's no excuse.
There's no excuses for you. I'm just fucking casual. Like
this is war, boy.
You should literally be the one telling me you love the smell of napalm in the morning. Like, come on now. I'm just a filthy casual. But yeah, no, that's the one thing. Like, that's the one thing I do hate about some of the industry right now is shit like that. Where like even back then when they would announce whatever new games or were coming out, and they'd only show you the cutscenes. They wouldn't show you any gameplay. So my like 10, 12-year-old ass was like, oh my god, the graphics again. What JJ said, we created life. This is amazing. And my big moment for me was when I got my PlayStation 1 and then upgraded to the PlayStation 2, and then they started putting out nudity in the games. And one of the ones that I remember was Siphon Filter. Because I like Siphon Filter because you had that fucking taser that made no sense. It literally fired a taser rope 40 feet across the map, and you could taser somebody. And I didn't know until I saw it, until somebody told me about it, that you could leave the taser pressed down until they burst into flames. Yeah. So I stopped using the gun through the whole nothing but tase people. There were just burnt corpses throughout the whole game because all I was doing was tasing everybody. I was dying so much because I was just getting shot by multiple enemies because I was just sit there. And then I think it was Siphon Filter 2, where that was one, they showed the cutscene because you had to go rescue your partner. And as you got to play as her in this particular rescue, and what they showed was just like the cutscene of her getting naked, and I was like, "What? I get to see something?" And you got to see like a pixelated ass cheek, and it's like, oh. And then and then other games started bringing that in. I was like, "Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. This is it. This is the future. This is the future right here." And of course, Lara Croft's triangular titties. Those are always nice. Those were my big moments.
Anything else, or you guys want?
I don't think. All I'm saying is you guys better enjoy. Hopefully, you guys enjoy Tears of the Kingdom because all I'm seeing is tens across the board.
Yeah,
Tens across the board for
Yeah.
it. That's what I've been
I'm,
seeing all day is tens across the board.
I'm gonna find me. As soon as I turn that game on, I'm going to chop down a tree and find me two boulders and glue them together and just walk away.
Yeah.
Just gonna leave this here.
Yeah. The
Link was here.
I don't know if uh Nintendo realized that the potential to add so many dicks to this
Oh yeah.
game
I was
is
like, oh man, I need to build a raft. I better find me two
too.
boulders and a long ass.
What are the boulders for? They're for counterweights
They're for
on the
buoyancy.
back.
They
There
need
is
buoyancy.
Yep.
I better find me two boulders and a log, and I guess a mast.
Well, that's a really long mast. Thank you. Good blessed.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Yeah. Look, I just want Nintendo to send us free gifts for our stupid ideas. Be like, you know what, JJ, that's a great idea. JJ gets a package tomorrow. And it's mast with the Nintendo logo on it.
I
And
want
two
the
boulders.
developer like behind the scenes to be like, when we were making the first Breath of the Wild, we thought this game would really be a lot more fun if you could just add dicks to it. So Tears of the Kingdom, we decided to give the players that power. That you can
We gave them the
just
power
make-
for what? To make things. And I know it's true. Just so everybody can enjoy them. Just everything is phallic.
There was a
Right.
Lego MMO that like had to get shut down because everyone kept making dicks.
Yeah.
How did you not know? Like, who in that meeting did not think, you know what you're gonna do with that, right? Like, he's like, who started this trend? And there's a guy in the boardroom. Oh, I didn't know that was gonna be part of the game. I'm sorry. And I'd be laughing in the background. No, you're not, because I did the same thing. Because everything is dick shaped. That's what I'm talking about.
All right. Well, there you have it. Thank you all for watching the Pixel Primos. Let us know what you think, and likewise, let us know in the comments what do you guys prefer: realism, stylized, or both. Either way, keep watching. Hope you all enjoy. See you all next time.
Hasta luego.